Alright, chat. Welcome back to F-Zero 99. I'm gonna play a little bit of this. I'm not gonna be live until my usual time tonight. So, I figured I would just do, just do some matches. And then at 10 we will do the Grand Prix, and I'll probably end with the Grand Prix. Maybe. We'll see. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see how I'm feeling. I might be feeling wacky. I'm gonna try the Golden Fox a little bit. Hope you're all doing well. That was fun. Party Animals. That was the first time I played it. Watto Head. That was the first time I played it. It's always good to game with Germa. I know Poke less well than I know Stir, and I know Stir less well than I know Germa. But I thought that was a good group. I really enjoyed their shenanigans. Would game again. Alright. Here we go, everybody. My first place F-Zero 99. Okay, if I don't get firsts, chat, my plan is to never play the game again. Which, that's not true. I would play it again, just not for a while. You know, there's a part of me there, you know, that's hoping that there will be even more tracks. So we can, like, even more pro laps. Meme good. What a fucking awesome skyway that is. Just cutting through the middle of that. I know, chat, I need those golden boys. You know what they remind me of? The eggs in Splatoon. Oh, Veggie, I was real close to knocking you the fuck out. Man. No, not a bad start. Actually, pretty good. Pretty good. Gray Leno's still dominating. I don't know. Did you see his name up there? You see him? Yeah, there he is. He's here now. He's here. Who is Gray Leno? It's just some mystery, like racer. Chat, I've had multiple people at conventions and otherwise, including Great Zot, tell me unironically that they like Gray Leno. I think they're all lying. but I just want you, the chat, to know that there are people that enjoy that wretched soul. I have already disowned my creation. I want nothing to do with him. Until the next episode. God, this level. What a nightmare. Zumbo Sauce is here. As a result of this level being a nightmare, though, it's got one of the best skyways I've seen in this game. Trying so hard. I'm even hitting the brakes when I get to the turns. Scoot. Alright, that was you know what, for a level that fucking kinda sucks, not bad. Vinny, you weren't hitting the brakes all this time. Oh, I hit the brakes a lot. You can tap gas when turning to do kind of hop. Fucking Ava Mendes. The real Ava Mendes is in this match somehow. Are you good at this game? I don't think I'm the worst at this game. I don't think I'm great at it. Still haven't got first place. I wonder what Ava Mendes thinks of current political event. It's important that we know these things. Come to my club. See Ava Mendes. I guess there's a whole generation of people that don't know who Ava Mendes is. Well, I don't either. However, I do have a story that I'm sure some of you have heard, some of you haven't, but there is a cousin of mine who is actually not a first cousin, if I'm not mistaken, who had a cousin. I know this is confusing, but just bear with me a minute, okay? Who had a club somewhere in Manhattan. And my cousin tells me that he wants me to go to this club. And he says it's the hottest club in town and that I should bring girls to it. Which, something about that is wrong. So here's this nerd dude, and you want him to bring girls to your club? And then he's like, you don't understand, Vin. Ava Mendes was at this club. Madonna sued the club. But Ava Mendes was there. And I'm like, thanks, none of this sounds appealing, but I'm just being very kind and, you know, I'm very, like, thank you. That's nice to invite me to this club that sounds miserable. But he was, like, bragging about Ava Mendes as if it was someone that I knew. I had never heard that person's name in my life. I still don't think I even know who. Oh, Jesus Christ in the fucking face! Oh. You're missing the pause between the name. Ava Mendes is at the club. She's married to Ryan Gosling? No shit. Is she really? Wow, how about that? She's married to a Blade Runner. If I knew that, I forgot it. She played the love interest in Ghost Rider. I have never seen that. But anyway, this is going back years, so he's telling me about this stuff, and I'm just like, I never went. I'm pretty sure the club closed down pretty quickly. But there's a story, if you type Vinny Club Cousin story on YouTube, you'll get a better version of that story. One that actually probably is a little more accurate, even. Because I don't remember the full details. Closed because you didn't bring the girls. It's my fault, everybody. You were playing Ocarina of Time's Water Temple. I remember that. That is very clear to me. I was playing the Water Temple level. I don't really have any contact with that particular cousin, and I don't know what he's doing with his life. So when people have asked Vinny Club Cousin, I'm like, no, never Club Cousin, because I just don't... I'm pretty sure, again, he's not a first cousin. It's like one of those weird, like, great uncles. I was really hoping to kill that dude. I thought I was gonna bump into him and get the kill. Also, appropriate name, Smoothest Brain. That'll get you. Right there, that dumb shit that I just did. I mistook someone, here named Lethargic for Lythero for a second. I was like, oh, it's Lythero, but my brain just translated it incorrectly. God. Man, if I had another charge right now... for the Skyway! Oh! There was also a dude there I was trying to destroy, but I could not do so. I was like... maybe I could do that. I could not. You're not Wild Goose. Tame Duck. Alright, Mini Pre. Now I'm Wild Goose. I think I saw Hanker. Hanker might be here, I'm not sure. Could be a fake Hanker. No, it's not. Alright, never mind. Fake. How does Scoot keep getting in the same match as me? Bilbo face? Oh, my boy Eggplant is in the match. Kind of wish I didn't miss that first ramp. It's alright. First is a really hard position to maintain earlier in the match, even lap 3 in my shit playing experience here, but yeah. Perhaps if I had a Skyway. Ooh! Thanks for getting my mind all gummed up. Thank you for the stream. What do you mean, gummed up? Oh, I was talking about grannies earlier. I think I said something about, yeah, getting gummed up, yeah. I forget some of these things sometimes. It's probably for the best. Alright, chat. Here we go. Shitty wind level. I'm ready. You ready? Tell you what though, that hamburger I built was fucking awesome. You know what I do with the onions? I don't really like caramelized onions. They're fine. I like them sometimes, but I like an onion on the stove, like, a little bit cooked. You just get it a little brown. A little salt, pepper, you know, on there for a couple minutes. Get it just a little bit juicy, not too soggy. But the seasoning, like the sauce was like a mix of mayo, ketchup, mustard, and Old Bay. I used too much Old Bay. It was still good because Old Bay is a good seasoning, but if I could do it different, I would have used a little less Old Bay. And then Berg is like medium, you know, like medium rare cock! You know, it's funny, chat. What is funny to me about that? I was just about to use the Skyway. But I didn't for some reason. I was sure I was talking about onions, but I'm just saying. That would have saved me. Shirt. Vinny, no. Dude, try caramelized onions with mushrooms and put that in a sub with cooked meat slices, lettuce, and tomatoes. That sounds great. I mean, I'm down for caramelized onions. I just prefer, like on a burger, I like onions a little bit more crunchy. So you just get them to a certain point where they're not quite fully cooked. There's like a sweet spot. I like raw onions, but I like raw red onions thin.
Hi everybody, it's me, Kiwi Herman. Welcome to the show. Alright, now, this is crack. It's not glamorous, it's not based.
Love playing F-Zero, and there's my name 5 times. Vinny, no. Damn it. I know I'm supposed to, like, be an assassin and get, like, KOs, but it's harder than it looks. Alright. Just drive into other people. Yeah, I know, but it's a little hard. This is already good compared to the last one, chat. So this mini pre is going to be great. I think I had a Dead Space stream last night, chat. I don't remember 100%, but I think I did. This is a really good game. The reason I don't know for sure is because I don't remember any of it. It was just like I was in like a dark ship. Was that just me playing the game, or was I actually dreaming about Dead Space? I don't remember what it was. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say. This is irrelevant, and there's no reason for me to even say any of that out loud, but, you know. I like making conversation when I stream. That's probably why I started streaming, you know, so I could just talk. Alright, Pee-wee Kermit. It's a mix of Pee-wee and Kermit the Frog. Somehow I got a KO. I don't know what that. How did that even happen? It was a bumper. Total crapshoot. Total luck. Also, that was not a good time to use that, and I didn't realize how little energy I had. good. That's good. Do you ever have any dreams about streaming? I have. Not very often anymore, but there were times I've had dreams where I was, streaming, and, I wasn't making any sense. Like, the most common streaming dream is that I'm speaking to an audience, but I'm not making any sense because it's dream brain. And, there's also, when I played a lot of, RimWorld, I would dream about me playing RimWorld and streaming it, but it made no sense because in a dream, you can't, like, figure out how to play RimWorld. So just, again, top-down view of things, and none of it makes any goddamn sense. So a normal stream. Alright. Chat. Remember, you all take credit for that one chat member, for their meanness. Trap. I think I'm the first person to get enough for a Skyway on this level. No, it's been. Fucking suck, chat. So, really? That? Yeah, that's it. Okay. One knock into a wall, and I'm knocked down 15 places. It's not bad.
Irrigoon jumped over the hill. It's me, Kiwi Herman. Welcome to my fun house.
Kiwi Herman would probably be, like a hobbit.
This is crack, mate.
I'm fascinated by the concept of Kiwi Herman, yet I cannot do the voice. It doesn't stop me from fucking trying, though. Did that say Yowie Steve? TF2 Yowie? Oh, man. Alright, who's gonna tell Nintendo what Yowie is? I love the idea that someone is going to be like, Nintendo, there's a filthy, disgusting word, concept, more than a word, being allowed in your F-Zero game, and you need to, like, name ban. And they're like, what is it? It's Yowie. What is Yowie? And then someone at Nintendo, like John Tendo, has to look it up. Like Miyamoto, they forced Miyamoto to do all the research. Look at that insanity. Couldn't beat Madafi Pal. They already know about it? Oh, is that why Mario goes, Yowie Zowie? Before inflating? Someone said, I wish we could ban Steeners. S-T-E-A-N-E-R-S. Stanley Steamer? I thought a Stanley Steamer was the Cleveland Steamer, so whenever I saw a truck for Stanley Steamer, I used to think, like, why would they name themselves that? Because in my sick mind, I thought it was the Cleveland Steamer. Turns out those are very different things. I'm convinced that half of those fucked up sex things ended up, like, being invented because someone had the name, and they were like, alright, well, we gotta figure out what this is. It's a good name. Oh, the Chesapeake Chiseler? Okay, what is that? I don't know. Someone heats up peanut butter, jacks off into it, and then puts it on someone's chest. Perfect. Alright, go to Urban Dictionary. We got a new one. This one's the Ungar Max. It's when Barrett from Final Fantasy VII gets so mad that he limit breaks, like a climax of sorts. Wait, what about that sexual? Just do it. Just do it. And then they put it in the game. Oh, that's the noise I made when I died. That's great. You sounded like R2-D2 going, wow! Sorry, that was my AC/DC impression. I get them confused sometimes. So that was the closest I got to first. It was within my grasp, but then that, gutter punk decided to hit into me, and then everything went wrong. That clip is fucked. Is it? I have to watch it. Before I end the stream, please repost that clip. Tell me to watch it with you all. I will, because I need to understand what happened there. I don't fully understand what happened. Alright, Choom, listen up. We're gonna do some F-Zero racing. And when I get to first place, I need you to sabotage the motherfuckers and Delta out of there. Got that a little too close. Alright. I was debating on saving that and trying my chances, but taking my chances, but you know what? I'd rather live. Yeah, right. Oh. Clearly living is all I have because we are nowhere near in any position to get like a top 20, I think. May not be true, actually. Let's see. Just need some of them nice PP orbs. Some nice PP orbs. You should watch the clip now. It's genuinely bullshit. I watched the clip 10 times and I still don't know what happened. Chat, it's that bad? Wait. Oh, okay. Alright, hang on. This is where the fucked up thing happened. Let's see. Incredulous Tubers, More Cowbell is the name of this clip. The fuck? All right, Chad, here we go. We're going to take a look at this. Everything happened so fast, I barely recall like how that went down. So here I am, in first. Now I am not in first. What happened? Wait a minute. Wait. What even was that? So we're gonna do half speed. Okay, I'm in second now. I'm weaving. I get hit. It's fine. I'm about to get third place. Third place is within my grasp. And then that happens. Wait. It came out of nowhere. It came out of nowhere. Chat, I'm in third, and then something fucking teleports in front of me and then back into me. Okay, look, I'm still in third. Where did this person come from? I'm still in third. 1, 2, 3. Why am I in third? There it is again. Here it is again. Teleports from behind me, right? From there to here to there to into me. I die. He lives. Chat, I am with you. That is some bullshit. Actual bullshit. It says fourth for a split second. That is the worst lag compensation I've ever seen. Vinny, that was the rubber band man. That was the rubber band man. Rubber band, man. Got the rubber in the palm of his hand. Wow. Is that going to the clip channel? I'm sure it will. I mean, that is just some nonsense. I don't actually, I'm sure most of you know this, I don't actually handle... Like, I may make a suggestion once in a while, but it's usually up to Johnny. And or if, like, a clip just kind of becomes popular, then we take a look at it. But yeah, I don't... Johnny's the one that does all the thumbnails and uploading. But yeah, that should probably go on the clip channel. Because that was actually insane bullshit. Funny, but painful. I mean, listen, it would have been third place, which would have been a new personal best, which would have been cool and everything. But it's fine. If that happened and I was in first, I would currently be having a conniption. Like, I would actually start punching walls. like, things would go through walls right now. Someone got that kill. Yes, I just spammed the button because I don't have an opportunity to really look up and see if my spin is back yet. How Vincent got his spin back. I remember that movie. Good movie. Have you tried to blast turn with the wild goose? I don't know what that means. Christ. No reason to use that now. I mean, a boost is always nice, of course, but... Give me that shit. I'll take that. Last turning is meaning mash B when making turns. Mash B when making turns? Okay. Vinny, who is this Johnny that makes these thumbnails? Does he have an impressive cock? Says a chat member. It's Johnny Silverhand. OJ Simpson is playing F-Zero right now. I guess he's got nothing else to do. I didn't do it. But if I did, here's how I would have done it. Wasn't that a book he wrote? That's fucking insane to me. That's just insane that he wrote that book. That's also why Norm Macdonald got fired from SNL. Because he was making OJ jokes, like, consistently. And, one of the heads of NBC was like, he's my buddy. And they fired Norm and Jim Downey, who is one of their best writers. And then he goes and writes a book called I Didn't Do It, but if I did, here's how I would have done it. Amazing. We live in a simulation, chat. Boy, I bet that KO felt real nice, whoever got that one. All right, top 15, I think. 15. Yeah. When do we unlock the white Bronco? For chat members that were born, like, I think, I hate to say it, but I think my age range, like 85, 84, 86, not how old I am the year I was born, was probably, like, the earliest time that you could still remember the OJ thing and have any real perception of what the fuck was happening. I just missed the mini-pre. The Netflix series. Oh yeah, there was a Netflix series, wasn't there? But I remember it as it... Oh, Shrimp Lady's here. I remember it as it was happening, and I didn't fully understand it. I had some idea of what was going on. I knew the facts of this, you know, why he was... Well, not the facts. No one fucking knew, but it was on every TV. Everyone was talking about it, from the Bronco chase to the trial to all the people, like the name Kato Kalin. I shouldn't know the name Kato Kalin, but I do, because everybody was talking about it constantly. Here's the funny thing. So I was like 8 when it was going down, and for me, that OJ shit, I had no idea he was a football player. So a piece of trivia that was mind-blowing to me was that he was a famous football player. I couldn't, like, I didn't put 2 and 2 together that the only reason it became as big of a deal as it was is because he was a famous football player. I thought he was famous for the trial and escaping in a white Bronco. So, yeah. Good match, that one. I thought I was using the other vehicle. Wow, I did terrible. Don't forget he was also in Naked Gun. Yeah, that was another one of those things later on. He was in... He was actually an okay actor. Like, he wasn't great, but he was okay. I mean, the movie was written in such a way that... You know, it's a silly comedy movie with Leslie Nielsen, so he didn't need to be, like, an incredible actor, but he was okay. He was OJ, not okay. I see what you did there. Vinny, what? Yeah. Someone in chat said after all that lying in court, he probably is an amazing actor. Why are we talking about O.J. Simpson? Well, allegedly, everybody, allegedly. Why are we talking, just for fun. Just a fun topic. Don't you agree? Anyone want to talk about Charlie Manson? I don't want to talk about that motherfucker. I'm good. I was kind of hoping Tarantino would have pulped him. Like, in that Once Upon a Time in Hollywood movie. Oh wow, I've overboosted yet again. I'm gonna die immediately, aren't I? I was hoping, okay, because in the movie, there's like a revenge thing. Oh, there's a revisionist history thing that happens. And there's a part of me that was hoping that DiCaprio also would have flamethrower Charles Manson, but we were not afforded such an amazing thing. Some cool names here. Got the real gamut here, including Vaporeon 69, of course. Real cool names. And no, the reason OJ came up is because, he's actually sponsoring the stream with his new book. I did it, and here's how. But it's, all alleged. It blew my mind that OJ's name didn't stand for orange juice. Is it, like, bad that that worked on me and now I want orange juice and I don't have any? This is why advertising fucking works. Big OJ has infiltrated my brain yet again, everybody. The worst is, I hate to say it, but McDonald's. It is, like, the worst, but no, when I see a big juicy beef McDonald's, sometimes I'm just like, it's been a couple months since I had a McDonald's. As if they aren't, like, all over every highway. Not highway, but you know what I mean, like, major road. Like, they're fucking everywhere, and yet they're like, well, they may forget about the clown unless we advertise. Worst thing they ever done was decommission Ronald. Seriously, like, my enthusiasm for that company shot down by 35 to 40% after that clown was decommissioned. Like an old naval ship. And they're bringing back the McRib. Which, did you know that's actually Ronald McDonald's rib that he removed so that he could self-serve? That was another rumor in the 90s that Marilyn Manson... Wow, this is all circuitous. Marilyn Manson, who took his name from Charles Manson, supposedly, a rumor in the 90s, allegedly, was that he removed a rib so that he could schwangus his own dangus. And you know what? He's the type of guy I would believe that from. Yeah, the other rumor was that he was in the Wonder Years. He was the kid from the Wonder Years. The friend. You know what actually kind of is interesting is that Marilyn Manson, there are a lot of stories in recent news, recent days, that Marilyn Manson was maybe not the best human being. I was completely shocked. I was, like, actually gobsmacked by that. Like, how, you know, him? The one who removed a McRib? But no, I mean, you know how these things are anyway. It's so nebulous. All of it's so fucking vague. And... like, things get so distorted via someone's public persona versus who they, like, want you to think they are versus who other people want you to think they are versus, like, what they look like. Because Marilyn Manson just looks like a weirdo. I mean, it's all a big mess. And then you find out, like, there are, like, these people that sang about the devil in the 70s that are actually, like, humanitarians who, like, do a lot of charity work and are very well-spoken. It's like, oh, okay. I think AC/DC should probably, like, link up with a prostate or, like, ball health organization. So that, like, men, like, check their balls for, you know, for lumps. Because if anyone's gonna be able to get guys to do that, it's AC/DC. Because they talk about their balls all the time.
Big sweaty balls! Creamy balls!
It's my favorite song. Big Sweaty Balls, Creamy Balls. It is probably their best song.
You gotta check them good! You gotta go under the hood! You gotta feel for lumps! Don't be a chump! Cause if your balls are aching...
I'm sure there's there's a full song in here, isn't there? Man, I just could not get that last Skyway. Yeah, he thick won that race. AC/DC's drummer has the easiest job in the world. Phil Rudd? You know, gotta be honest with you. The more music I play, the more older I get, the more I respect Phil Rudd's drumming. And even their bassist. I don't think... Yeah, I mean, listen, obviously it's more impressive to be John Bonham and to hit the drums. Like, I feel like I'm Bill Burr right now talking about this stuff, but obviously John Bonham is an incredible... He's my favorite drummer, probably. Like, I love his drumming. And I can listen to John Theodore, who's in Mars Volta. He's in Queens of the Stone Age at the moment. Love that guy. Love Stuart Copeland. Favorite drummer isn't Mike. Obviously, my favorite drummer is Mike. Obviously. That's like, you know, clear. But I'm saying, no, listen, chat. Impressive drummers are definitely cool, but as a not drummer, I also appreciate a drummer that can hold a steady beat, and there's a lot of power in that. And however you feel about AC/DC, there is something to be said about that Phil Rudd steady beat, kick, snare, you know, just a little bit of accenting, a couple fills. There's a lot of power in that, and it lets the music do some of the talking, where normally, you know, maybe there would be a big busy drum thing. So I gotta say, that and a nice simple bass line. Obviously not every song calls for that, but I would say I would not be shitting on Phil Rudd, because easiest job, maybe, but it's also not that easy to keep a steady, like almost metronomic tempo throughout a whole 2-3 hour set, and to really get those tempos like right exactly where they need to be. Telling you, man, Phil Rudd, he's got some skill, and he's got restraint, and I respect a little bit of restraint. But I'm gonna die, aren't I? Yeah, that's fine. I'm also the kind of guy that appreciates Meg White. Not because she's good, but because, again, there's like a power in just playing simply and letting the songs kind of just be this kind of monolithic, simple thing. It can be amazing. Anyway, I'm gonna die. That's alright, I'll get him for the Grand Prix, lads. Letting the singer take all the attention. Well, that's the thing that's a little bit of a... If the singer is like cock out kind of singing, and it's like, oh, look at me, look at me, look at me, that gets boring after a while. I like punk singers. I like Jack White's voice, because it's all fucking flawed, and you know, I like David Byrne's voice. I like there's a humanity to it. I like great singers too. Bowie's voice is amazing. I love Robert Plant's vocals. I know Joel doesn't, but I do. David Gilmour is one of my favorite singers. So, but I like, I don't like showy vocalists either. Like, if you're just doing note Olympics, if you do simple songs and you don't have any one element trying to hog the attention, quote unquote, because I don't think music needs to be about getting the most amount of attention. It should just be like, hey, these are some cool songs. We want to sing some songs that sound good. I like that more. Freddie Mercury does both. Well, Freddie Mercury is a bit of an anomaly, and he can sing simple. Like, there are plenty of times where Freddie Mercury does not go completely overboard, but he can do the whole thing. He had so much range. He could be he could be a virtuoso, but he also could just kind of let Brian May take a song, or he could also just kind of hang back in his lower to mid register and just do the song and not like go all over the place. But that's me. I mean, everyone has a different opinion or a different way. That's what makes music amazing. There's so many different ways to approach it. Some people love Dream Theater and like Dragon Force, and to them that's as cool as like music gets. I don't. I respect it. I think it's cool, but I like a nice simple song that's gonna like, I don't know, move me in some way. Like a nice Neil Young song. Like, play me anything on Rust Never Sleeps, and I am happy. But you know what song I really love? So far away, and leave love here in my hands. Was that Hoobastank? Really going for broke here, folks. Shocked I lived. Vinny, what's the heaviest band you like? I don't know, Mars Volta, Black Sabbath. I like some Metallica. I don't go that heavy. Yeah, 9 Inch Nails. I like some System of the Down. Sure. I wouldn't say Led Zeppelin is a heavy band necessarily, but I love that stuff, you know. Tool, sure, I like Tool. Do you like punk? Yeah. There's a number of punk bands that I enjoy. I tend to prefer the melodic stuff. Like, I like the Buzzcocks, I like the Clash. The Damned. Alright, here we go. Grand Prix. He hates Iron Maiden. I don't love them. I know a couple songs. Never got really into them. I had a whole, like... I missed a lot of rock. I missed a lot of music. And there's a lot of 80s metal and 80s rock that I just don't know. I do like Guns N' Roses, but I mean... They are one of the most popular rock bands, so how the fuck could you not know their music? But I got really into them for a while, too. Thoughts on Rush? I'm not like a Rush superfan. I know some people go mental over Rush. I like them. I do like them quite a bit, but I don't love them. I don't know all their albums. What do you think of the Beach Boys? Oh god, you missed years of me talking about the Beach Boys and like the lore of Mike Love and Brian Wilson and the Smile album and Pet Sounds and Brian Wilson's like mental health and like, but just the great songs from the late 60s. They had some really great shit that wasn't just about surfing and taking your best girl down to the beach. It's really gut-wrenching, heartbreaking music. There's a lot of sadness behind that very cheery music, you know? But that's also a band with a lot of bad albums in their discography. And I would mainly blame Mike Love for that, but, you know. That's another Vinesauce villain. That's a little bit of lore. Me really disliking Mike Love. Trying to look for a bumper. That blue bumper just went off the level. Okay, well. I didn't get any kills. But I'm still in the race. What's the least known band that you listen to? It's a little hard to quantify. I mean, if you just go to Spotify and check their numbers, obviously you could do that. I'll give you a couple here. Dead Meadow. Glass Beams. I don't know how popular they are. These are just names that I don't think are overly known. Morgan Delt. The Horrors. Maybe they're probably more known. Slint. Remember Slint? I like a couple songs by Slint. There's a guy named Zach Mexico I like. I watched a good documentary on a band called Jawbreaker, which were a, I think I probably talked about this. They were a punk-ish kind of band in the 90s that said they would never get on a record label. And then they did. And it pissed a lot of people off. There's a whole-ass documentary about this band on YouTube I watched, and it's really interesting. I don't know their music, but I found it... I've listened to a couple songs since then, and yeah, they're pretty good. And they're more known than I thought they were. But they were, like, really, really touting being on an indie label and never signing to a corpo label. And then they ended up signing, and it was a huge slap in the face for a lot of people. And in the documentary, it goes over how that's not even a factor anymore. And I have talked about this many times. Some people still care, but by large, the whole concept of selling out is sadly kind of encouraged at the moment. I know I'm sounding like a bit of an old man here, but it seems like something that is much more like, get that bag, don't worry about it. But yeah, they had a really hard time. They had people like protesting them at their shows. So people were not happy. And again, it was a different time. It was like people had different sensibilities for what a band should do. And it's like, well, you like this band, right? Okay. You like the people in the band. And do you want them to have a comfortable life? No. Okay, got it. I know it's not as black and white as that, but... The problem, though, and I'm just rambling, and forgive me, but sorry to get on this topic somehow, is still going, but one thing I'll say about it is the hesitance about signing a deal with a record label is that they can water down and even change the feel, the direction, the whole attitude, the whole ethos of a band. It was probably a lot different in the 80s and 90s than it is now, because record labels are not what they used to be. And it's more like giant pop megastar hype beasts as opposed to like bands. And I feel like rock labels are generally probably pretty chill at the moment. Not all of them, but I feel like it's much different of a landscape. But the audience's fear of a band going corpo and then changing their entire thing. Yeah, I mean, there's a real fear there, and I kind of get why people were shitty about it. But anyway, I don't remember the name of the documentary, but it is on YouTube. It's like a 40-minute video, 30-minute video about the band Jawbreaker. Really fascinating, even if you don't know that band at all. It's just really interesting to see how different things were and to see what this band went through. The singer had like a fucking polyp on his throat the size of an orange at one point. Okay, maybe not an orange, but you know what I mean. And then they still had a tour, and he had to like still do the tour, and after surgery he still did shows. It's like crazy. That stuff I find interesting. I find that kind of drive and that just like raw dogging life kind of attitude to be fascinating. Didn't even realize I had that little health. Holy shit. Wow. There goes the Grand Prix. What's a band that everyone hates that you love? Nickelback, Creed, 21 Pilots. So I don't like Nickelback, I don't like Creed. I don't know 21 Pilots' music. I just know that a friend of mine plays trumpet with them. And he's great. He's awesome. Talented, nice, awesome dude. It's true. He does. He was, if you saw a dude playing trumpet to a large crowd, playing the Halo theme, that was him. But, my answer to that question is actually... Yeah, I do have an answer. The answer is U2 and Oasis. Oasis is different because there are people that love Oasis, but in the States, they're not as big of a band, and they're kind of like laughed at a little bit when you say you like them. But I'm willing to take that because they're between Definitely Maybe, What's the Story, Morning Glory, and The Master Plan. Those are 3 fucking incredible albums with really great songwriting. So yeah, Oasis is one that's a little less laughed at. U2 is a little more contentious because I don't like Boner, but I like the Joshua Tree album. I like the Achtung Baby album and some other earlier stuff and some other later stuff. Some 80s stuff, some 90s stuff is actually pretty good. I do not ever wish to see them in concert again. I saw them 20 years ago. I am good. I don't like pretty much any of the stuff they put out recently. And I kind of have... I'm sick of it. Like, I don't listen anymore. But yeah, U2 was definitely a band that I, at a time, enjoyed their music, yeah. And I'm willing to take a little bit of shit for that. That's fine. That's what I get for looking over a chat for a second. I'm sorry, but also, yeah! I'm just happy to get a kill. Thoughts on post-rock? I'll tell you what. The names of a lot of these categories are bizarre to me, and I don't fully understand them. I don't know Godspeed You Black Emperor. I've listened to one album from Sigur Rós. I only know a couple Slint songs. Like, we are so incredibly... We want to categorize everything. If I hear something I like at a bar, or if I hear something I like from Spotify, whatever, to me, it's just like, I'm like, oh, there's a guitar in there. I like that. I like the way the guitar sounds on this song. I don't often know when I'm listening to shoegaze or post-rock. I'm sorry to say. Like, I'm not exactly genre exclusive when it comes to my tastes. If it's good, it's good. Like, My Bloody Valentine, is that shoegaze? I kind of just think of them as a rock band. But there's some really great songs that, I only know a couple. Like, I know, like, you know, maybe half an album's worth, but I like them. Alright, chat. Needed that. All right. Being able to describe music other than I like guitar is nice. Yes, to a degree I can do that, but I also, Jeff, cannot do Wikipedia rock genres. In the A's alone, there's like 20. There's Baroque pop, baggy, bandana thrash, Bay Area thrash metal, beach music, beat music, bent edge, big bit, biker metal, biz rock, black gaze, black and death metal, black metal, blues rock, boogie rock, Brazilian thrash metal, British folk rock, Britpop revival, bubblegum music. So that's just the B's. So I got a couple categories, and I'm good with that. But I tend to prefer just, you know, it's if it sounds good and I like it, even if it's no guitar, I'm okay with that too. But I'm also not planning on reviewing records on YouTube. I could do like top 10s and stuff. I know what I like, but yeah, the technical stuff kind of loses me a bit. But I remember there was like a couple years ago, I had people come to the stream and they were like upset I didn't know how to categorize, and I was just like, I'm sorry, I don't. Or I got it wrong. It's like, that's not rock, Vinny, that's Baroque. Shit, I didn't know that. I know what krautrock is. I like krautrock. So that's another thing too, like, then you have video game music, right? That's a weird way to categorize music that sounds entirely different, but it's something that we do. We tend to just call things video game music. Which I guess is just ease of that. And then once you say video game music, I guess you can further divide into categories. But yeah. Like, what the fuck is Spyro music? To me, Spyro music is like its own genre. Oh, man. What the hell happened? Oh my god! Man. I'll get you, shrimp lady. Trash from the sea, no good, make you sick. Alright, here we go. Time to fail a Grand Prix. Because there's no fucking way I'm getting top 20 here. I think on this game's release, I would have been able to do that, just because, and I think I did do it once, maybe. But, now that people actually know how to play the game pretty well, I don't think I'm gonna be able to survive a Grand Prix. Maybe if I believed in myself, chat. Trying to believe here. I think I need to use the, like, the thing, what's it called? The boost thing? Whatever. There's some kind of, like, letting go of the gas and doing turns a little bit more often. Because I usually just hit the brakes. Well, I wasn't sure if I would be able to, use that boost safely. Oh, shit. Vinny, do you eat breakfast? It's a weird, question. Yes. Yes, I have a combination of breakfast. It's breakfast or lunch. I don't do both. Well, good luck to anyone who's still in this race. I hope you win, whoever you are. I hope all of you win. Because you're all winners in my book. Oh wow, Hacker's actually still here. Wow, okay. No, it's Vin. I'm gonna spectate the leader. You know, I'm actually gonna watch this one. I want to learn. No pressure, Odiani. It's not like the entire stream is watching you. Wow. Just taking your time. Handling the turns until I'm noticing they're using the same vehicle. There's 3 of the same vehicle. Am I using the wrong thing? I mean, it's kind of, not the most fun to watch, but I'm learning. Just have to be... Oh, okay, never mind. This person suddenly, out of nowhere. Holy shit. Stingray's really good if you can get the hang of it. Alright, well, I'm gonna do one more race. Just got two of the same thing, kind of. But one is reverse of the other one? Oh yeah, it's just... they're reverses of each other. Alright, one more race and I'm gonna use the Fire Stingray. If you hit the wall with the Stingray, you basically lost since gaining speed is incredibly rough. I believe that vehicle uses a ton of meter to speed up. I didn't even select it. It didn't give me a chance, it was so quick. Alright, whatever. Wherever the dice may fall. So I might play more of this, maybe next week or the week after, or maybe I'll just wait until after Halloween. So you might not see this for a couple weeks, maybe more. If there's ever another update with more tracks, I'll play it for sure, but... I think I'm just gonna try to focus on my, my Halloween spooky shit. And finishing up some of the story games that I'm doing, like, Cyberpunk and... I say Armored Core as if it's a story game, and it does have a story, and it is a good story, but, you know, I wouldn't consider it a story game. It is just a game with a story, and you're also a mech, and you fight things in the face. Ray Leno, huh? Oh my god, did you see that? Alright, chat. Well, I almost got third place, and it led to a very interesting moment. Not here, I mean before. But I'm done. I think I'm good. I'm gonna go, I'm gonna do my dishes. I'm gonna go prep for the convention for Comic-Con, and I'm going to go to sleep early, if you can believe it. So, Vin, I'm very excited about Red Vox bananas. I'm sorry to say this, but I cannot legally ship bananas to you. I mean, I'm sure I could, actually, but they would just go bad eventually, so I don't think we'll be selling Red Vox bananas anytime soon. Sorry. Chat, thanks for stopping by today. I appreciate it. The game I played earlier, what was it called? Party Animals. It was fun. And I would probably play that again. If it gets updates, I'll definitely get back into it. It's like Gang Beasts meets Fall Guys, and it's a good combo. And F-Zero is always a lot of fun. Unfortunately, F-Zero hates me. But, you know, it's good. Maxwell the cat. Yeah, no, of course. Maxwell will always be there. All right. Good night, everybody. Until the bit gets old. Good night, everyone. Thanks for watching. I don't really know what else to say, so I won't say it. But if I see you at Comic-Con, great. If not, I'm not going to meet up with people. I'm just going to go and hang out and look at weird things and nerds like myself, but I won't be dressed up like those nerds. So, yeah, let's hope for good weather. And I'll be around on Sunday. So I'll see you Sunday with... What are we doing Sunday? Who knows? Maybe some of this. Do you think Watto has udders?
Suckle from the teeth, honey. Yes, yes, good boy, good boy.